Hello, America. I want you to remember a phrase as we get started here tonight, and that is divide and conquer. Late yesterday, the NAACP passed a resolution that we told you about condemning the Tea Party movement for tolerating bigotry. Look at the bigots. Look at the hate mongers. I mean, I don't want to belong to a racist organization, do you? No. So let's make sure they're painted as racist. They're doing this. It is the political agenda. Look at how we're being divided here. Financial reform. If you're for it, you're pro-reform. If not, you're against. You're with the robber barons. You're with the Wall Street fat cats. That's what you are. Healthcare reform. All kids are going to go to heaven. They're going to have a great, happy life. There won't be any disease. Or you just want babies to die in the streets. Look how we're being divided. Immigration, you're pro-diversity. Or you hate people that are different than you. Cap and trade, you love the earth. You're against it. You hate the earth. Why do you want to destroy our children's future? What is this? What is this? America, the message is clear. You swallow the progressive political agenda and you like it, or you're the enemy. You're uncaring, you're greedy, you're a hate monger, you're a capitalist, you're a pariah. There is no middle ground anymore. When is the last time we heard anybody say, I thought we were supposed to unite together? There's no room for compromise. There's no chance. You can't discuss any of this stuff. Don't even read the bill. There's no time to discuss it. We're in a crisis. Move, move, move. Divide and conquer. Well, America, I have to tell you, you are faced with a choice. But it isn't these. It's not this. Where is the category that has any gray in it? Where is the category? There is one category where there is no gray. These you can compromise on. These you can do things with. These reasonable people sit down and work together. But there is one category where you don't. And that is this one. You either stand with the rule of law and the Constitution and the American ideals, the ideas like John Dickinson. The American colonists were setting their sights on freedom to escape from tyranny, an oversized, bloated government. And Dickinson wrote these words. He wrote, "Then join hand in hand, brave Americans all. By uniting we stand, by dividing we fall." Abe Lincoln said that as well. So do you stand here, knowing that we have differences? Do you stand here? Or do you stand here? Saul Alinsky, in the prologue to this book, Rules for Radicals, you have to read this because you'll understand so much. He writes in the prologue, a Marxist begins with his prime truth that all evils are caused by the exploitation by the capitalists. From this, he logically proceeds to revolution to end capitalism. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And then into the third stage of reorganization into a new social order of the dictatorship. And finally, the last stage, the political paradise of communism. How many times have you heard this quoted? They know it. This is their Bible. Choose. Choose, America, not this. We can work through these are problems. These are not principles. We solve these on principles. Are they the founders' principles or Saul Alinsky? Everything else, there's a shade of gray, but not this. Not this. Together, united, we solve problems. But divided, they conquer. It's going to be another one of those days. Hello, America. Does this tie make me look fat? Because I keep looking I watch the show and I'm like, man, those ties just make me look so fat. Divided we fall. Heard it a million times. But how come we're not talking about that? How come we are not talking about the division, the intentional division that is happening right now? We hear about dividing people. We hear about people divide. I'm called divisive. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But it's on the truth. Make them say they deny it. Ask them if they'll deny this. Ask them if they'll deny the Panthers. Ask them to deny it. I am divisive because I tell you where I stand. And where I stand is firmly with the founders. Where I stand are on divine principles that came from Moses. These people won't even let you put Moses' top 10 in a courtroom. But I'm hateful. I'm going to destroy the country. Radical revolutionaries. Progressives. I'm divisive because I will point out that what their playbook is a playbook to topple America from the inside. I'm divisive because Bill Ayers and his ilk learned in the 60s that setting off bombs in the end accomplishes nothing. That's why he'll put on a tie and he'll go teach at a university. What better way to destroy America from the inside is to divide her with the youth. Do you know that the NEA now is recommending this book, Rules for Radicals? The first couple of lines from the prologue, may I give them to you? The revolutionary force today has two targets, the moral as well as the material. Wow, the 60s is starting to make sense to me. Destroy the morals and destroy everything material. The young protagonists are one moment reminiscent of the idealistic early Christians, yet they are also urge violence and cry, burn the system down. They have no illusions about the system, but plenty of illusions about the way to change our world. This is the point in which I have written this book. Have you watched the television? I know you are, because if you watch this show, we're not that different. Well, except for you and blog sites. I watch the news and I used to think, where is all this stuff coming from? I mean, if you weren't a dope-smoking hippie in the 60s and you didn't read this book, you can't figure it out. If you weren't indoctrinated by your dope-smoking hippie professor who read this book, you never saw this one coming. You used to believe, as I did, that we're all pretty much alike. We all, pretty much one way or another, we appreciate the founding of this country. We appreciate the principles. We know that we've gotten them wrong, but we're trying to be better. Country's making progress. You believe that America is the last best hope for the free world. Boy, was I a moron for believing that. Nope. There's a lot of people that believe that we are the oppressor. And this man states it. He states in this book, the purpose is to create mass organizations to seize power. Wow, that almost sounds like the Tides Foundation. It almost sounds like the unions. You see, you were left out because you didn't read this. There's a new tape out from the Black Panthers. And in my naive days, I'd say, why isn't the media covering this? Well, you only ask that because you haven't read this book. But you see, those media elites, not only did they read this book and buy this book, they practically memorized this book. Watch.
Well, to reach back to one of our heroes from the past, from the 60s, Saul Alinsky once said, you have to act in the end like there's simple black and white clarity between your side and the other side, or you don't get anything done. I always try to remind myself of Saul Alinsky when I get confused.
Yeah, I bet that's a lot. Maybe that's why you have it memorized? Memorize this? Remember that clip, because in 20 minutes I'm going to show you something else in this clip that's going to turn your hair white. Why do you think I have white hair? They're not going to cover the Black Panther story because it's part of a plan. I mean, if you are looking to destroy America, There is a plan out there. Now, last night I told you I wasn't going to play the same clip of the Panthers over and over again about killing crackers, but they just keep coming out with new tapes. So I got to show it tonight, and I'm not showing it to rile you up, but I want to explain to you why this is happening. Watch the new clip.